Pepe and Pepa are an American marriage, but they could be from England, they could be from China, they could be from Abu Dhabi, that after reading the news that Spain will eliminate the golden visa after April the 3rd, decide to contact us to see if they still can obtain the golden visa and how to do so. Their goal is clear: to spend more than 90 days a year in Spain without being obligated to become tax residents. Additionally, they also want to be able to travel throughout Europe without any restrictions. In this video, I'm going to treat you as if you were one of my clients. This means that I'm not just going to be giving the information that you can find on the internet, but at the end of this video, you'll know everything about how to apply for the golden visa in case you purchase one property or multiple properties that the total amount of them sum up to 500,000 euros. I must say that these are merely tips and recommendations based on the experience my father, a lawyer in Spain for over 30 years, and I have. Don't try to apply for the golden visa on your own. Always rely on a professional. At Bertomeu Abogados, we offer a free consultation to see if you're eligible for the golden visa, and if you want us to handle the entire process for it, it's 800 euros. You will find our contact information on the screen and also in the description of the video. Let's go! We're going to continue with Pepe and Pepa's example. They want to get the golden visa through a real estate investment, but it doesn't matter if it's real estate or Spanish public debt. These are general requirements, so we ask them to bring a photograph for your ID. Very important that the background color is white. A valid passport or travel document which must be recognized as valid in Spain. Criminal record certificate. This requirement is not applicable if one of the applicant's family members is a minor. It is crucial that this certificate is no older than 3 months and must be issued not only by the country of current residence, but also by all the countries where the applicant has resided in the past 5 years. Don't forget that this document must be officially translated into Spanish, and you have 2 options to legalize it: through the consular representations of the issuing country or with the hack apostille. I'm sorry if I'm being too technical, but this is a video for you to take notes. Let's talk about financial requirements. Basically, Spain wants to ensure that while you're here, you have sufficient means to support yourself and any family members included in the golden visa. In order to calculate this, Spain uses a measure called IPREM. The IPREM is simply a reference used in Spain to determine financial requirements for various legal procedures. To apply for the golden visa in Spain through real estate investment, in addition to an investment of at least 500,000 euros in property, you must have income or savings equivalent to 400% of the IPREM, which is currently 2,400 euros per month or 28,800 euros per year. Okay, Daniel, 28,800 euros, but that's for the main applicant. What happens with the spouse, with the children? Okay, so they ask for the 100% of the IPREM. I give you the total number, that is 7,200 euros for each extra family member. I didn't say this before, but Pepe and Pepa have a child, so in their case it would be 28,800 euros for Pepe, 7,200 euros for Pepa, and 7,200 euros for the child, making a total of 43,200 euros per year. And how do we prove these amounts? You must present the original and stamped documentation that verifies the receipt of periodic and sufficient income or the possession of assets that guarantees such income. The most important thing for you to know is that health insurance should cover all medical costs, including hospitalizations, and co-payments are not allowed. This means that you shouldn't be required to pay extra every time you use it. So yeah, once you contacted us, I don't work with any specific company, but I can tell you that when I use it, and well, if you look for it on Google, in 5 minutes you'll see the different options you have. Finally, we're done with the general requirements, so let's move on to the specific documentation that you would have to handle us or any other professional that will apply the golden visa for you. We're going to see now different scenarios, the first one of them being in case you're already on the property. The first and most important document that we will need is la certificación de información continuada de dominios y cargas del registro de la la propiedad. I know this is a very long word, but it's basically a certificate of ownership. As I said, this document is very important because it proves that you are the owner and whether the property has mortgages or debts. This document must be maximum 3 months old, and you can get it yourself if you go to the land registry, or in case you want us to obtain it for you, you would have to grant us, or better said, my father. As I said, he's been a real estate lawyer in Spain for over 30 years. He's been handled more than 600 powers of attorneys, so you would have to grant one of those to my father, and he could ask for this documentation for you. And this is a detail, but it's really important, and is that when you go to the land registry, you should ask, besides this document, for an electronic code verification. This code basically reflects the amount of the acquisition. In case you get this document and you don't have this code, we would ask you as well for the purchase deed of the sale, so we can prove the cost of the building. Sometimes when you apply for the visa, you already bought the property, but the property registration is not yet complete. If this is your case, we will need a certificate that indicates that the entry of the acquisition document is active. This is what we call in Spain el asiento de presentación del documento de adquisición, and as well documentation proving the payment of the taxes related to the purchase. This is great, Daniel, but what about if I haven't already bought the property, or I even haven't started looking at properties? Alright, so if you're watching this video, put yourself in touch with a professional. It can be my father and I, it can be others, but they really have to know how this process works. You are still on time. If the home you finally decide on has all its documentation in order, we can typically finalize the procedure in about 2 to 3 weeks. I really want to emphasize the part of having all documentations in order, because later in the FAQ I'm going to be treating some of the most common issues when buying a property in Spain that can delay the process. Let's consider how to apply for the Golden Visa if you already know the property you want to buy, but you think the process of finalizing the home purchase could go beyond April the 3rd. To apply for the Golden Visa without having completed the home purchase, you will need a contrato de arras. This is a pre-contract with an earnest bank deposit, but this contract needs to be formalized in public deed. A standard private document is not allowed. And a bank certificate from a Spanish financial institution that proves that the money is in a blocked account. Are there other options? And the answer is yes, but it really depends on the case. I think I have given enough scenarios, and these are the most common ones, so you can more or less find out what specific documentation you need for, and of course every specific case is a whole different story. So as I've been saying throughout the video, you can book a free consultation with myself and my father, and we'll see if you're eligible for the Golden Visa. To summarize, if you've already purchased the property, submit the updated property registry certification, remember no older than 3 months, or justify that the registration is in process along with the purchase deed and proof of tax payments. If you haven't finalized the purchase, formalize the pre-contract in a public deed, deposit the funds in a Spanish bank account, apply for the 6 months Golden Visa, and complete the purchase within that period. Practice and experience has shown me that there are some topics, there are some questions that are very common among you, and these are completely normal. So I'm going to be briefly talking about marital property regimes in Spain. The property community regime, what we call régimen de gananciales, sorry, I'm very hungry, and the separation of assets regime. Regardless of your marital property regime, if the investment doesn't amount to twice the required sum, €1 million in total, it will be considered that the investment was made by one spouse. In this case, the other spouse can apply for the Golden Visa as a family member. It's time to talk about the taxes related to the Golden Visa in Spain. What I'm going to be saying now is very basic information, so if you've done some research, you can skip to the next part, that is investment for the Golden Visa through legal entities. I consider this very interesting, especially because a lot of foreigners choose this in order to buy a property in Spain. But, well, here are some things that I think everyone should know about the Spanish tax system. If you spend more than 183 days, you're going to be considered a tax resident, and this has a lot of implications. For example, for the wealth tax, if you stay as a non-resident, you will only have to declare your assets located in Spain, but if you become a tax resident in Spain, you would have to declare your worldwide assets. Even if you stay as non-resident in Spain, you should always remember that the income generated in Spain will pay taxes in Spain. Basically, if you buy a property for rental purposes, those benefits will pay taxes. How much? Okay, if you are from the EU, you will pay 19%. If you are from outside the EU, England, America, China, you will pay 24%. I know this is a big discrimination. I'm preparing a very long video about this. So if you're liking this video, I would really appreciate if you subscribe, you give it a like, you share with people that might be interesting, as well as if you want to know more about taxes in Spain, this is your channel. I already made a video about the wealth tax specifically for non-residents, and I'm going to be doing more so you get all the information. So let's keep going. All right, Daniel, I'm really enjoying the video, but I have a question. I don't want to buy the property myself, but through a legal entity. Is that possible? Yes, it's also possible to make the investment through a legal entity, provided the visa applicant directly or indirectly holds the majority of voting rights and has the power to appoint or remove the majority of the governing body's members. Additionally, the entity must be domiciled in a jurisdiction, it can be Spain or a country that has signed an exchange information treaty with Spain. In other words, if the company that you are using to buy the property is based in a tax haven, you cannot get the golden visa. All right, picture this. January 2026, Spain, 25 degrees, you're enjoying a mojito on the beach, and you suddenly remember that you were granted the golden visa for 1 year, so you have to renew it. How do I do it? What should I know before doing it? This is what I'm going to be talking about now. If you apply from the Spanish consulate of your country, you will be granted a Spanish golden visa for 1 year. And once you're in Spain, you can, from that moment, apply for a resident investor permit, which is granted for 2 years. If you directly apply from Spain, you can apply directly for this resident investor permit. As I said, it lasts 2 years. This is something very important that I almost forgot, and it's that you must renew your golden visa at least, remember, at least 60 days before the golden visa expires. The conditions are that you still maintain the investment free of charges, and this is something that I haven't seen lots of people talking about it, but if you remember the general requirements, we were talking about the financial means. For the main applicant, it was 28,800 euros. All right, once you renew it for 2 years, this financial means must be multiplied by 2. I say this because there's another visa that is very popular, is the non-lucrative visa, and lots of people get surprised because they had the means to support themselves for 1 year, but once they have to renew it for 2 years, they found out that they can. So I guess if you're applying for the golden visa, this won't be a problem, but it's definitely something that you should consider. To summarize, if you applied to the golden visa in your Spanish consulate, you will be granted 1 year. Once you're in Spain, you can already apply for the 2-year residence investor permit. After those 2 years, you can renew it for another 2 years, and after that, you can apply for the 5-year renewal. If you directly applied from Spain, you can directly ask for the the investor residence permit, then renew it after 2 years, and after that renewal, you can already apply for the 5-year renewal. When I say numbers, I feel like this can be misunderstood, so if you have any specific questions, please write them down in the comments and I will be very happy to answer them. Before the video ends, I want to answer some of the most common questions that I often get asked for the golden visa through real estate investment. But I want you to know that in next week I'm going to be posting videos about the other methods of getting the golden visa, and I'm also preparing a fourth video about the ultimate frequent asked questions about the golden visa. So if you have any question related to your specific case, you can write them down in the comments, you can contact me in email. But the first question that I think is very interesting is, what happens if when we apply for the golden visa, my son is 17 years old, and when we want to renew it, he turns 18? This is a good question because in the paper, he would be out of the equation. However, we still have the way to still have him under the golden visa. Basically, we have to demonstrate that he is dependent from the main applicant. So this is very easy to prove because this is not the world that it was 100 years ago. 18-year-old people are usually dependent. So yeah, this is very easy to do. I got a question last week that told me, all right, Daniel, we're buying an 800,000 house in Moraira, Alicante, and we are in a co-ownership regime, myself and my aunt, because we're relatives. Can we both apply for it? And the answer is no. As I said, it must be a single individual, regardless that, of course, if we're talking about your spouse and your children, they can be included as family members. All right, Daniel, I have another question. I bought a property 3 years ago in Valencia, and at the time, I didn't even know about the golden visa. But right now, since I watched your videos and watched the multiple advantages that this regime offers, I want to apply for it. Is there any time limit, or I can still apply for that? If that's your case, I have good news for you, because you can still apply. There's no a time frame for that. So the important is that you meet all the other requirements that I have been talking through the video. So yes, you can start your golden visa application. As I said earlier in the video, if you have any specific question, you can write it down in the comment section. You can also contact me through WhatsApp, through email, and we can review your case. But I want you to thank you because, well, this video has lots of information. I can tell you that I've been recording this for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Maybe you're just watching 10 minutes, but just to see how many times did I have to try record everything to make it as clear as I could. I'm already working on future videos about the golden visa because, as I said, there are other ways to get the golden visa, and also about some things that are going to affect you in the future. For example, Spain will prohibit short-term rentals from April the 3rd. So I'm studying the law, I'm studying the new law that will come out, the different options you have to protect yourself if you still want to rent your property short-term. So what I want to say is that I put a lot of hours into these videos, I put a lot of effort, but it's very worth it because I feel happy, and now things are going great. I'm getting consultations for the golden visa, we're getting new clients for conveyancing services, taxes, and well, it's an honor actually to be working alongside my father, who's been a lawyer in Spain for over 30 years, and I have a lot to learn from him. And as well, this gives me the opportunity to express myself, to be creative, and that's something that really money can pay. So if you like the video, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, you give it a like, you stay tuned because I'm going to be posting lots of videos, short form, long form. Also follow me on my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, social media, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.